guys, it's me again, and here we go with Kosovo, which is a self-declared independent country in the Balkan region of Europe and all of the United States, and most members of the European Union or EU have recognised Kosovo's declaration of independence from Serbia in 2008, Serbia, Russia and significant amount of other countries, some being the EU, did not, and given lack of international consensus, Kosovo was not immediately admitted to the United Nations or UN, and in 2010 the International Court of Justice ruled that Kosovo's declaration of independence did not violate international law, but Serbia rejected the decision. And as a broad treatment of history of Kosovo from the medieval to present, the historically Albanian Serb populations. As we can kind of see Albania and Serbia, which have already done, like I did last year at some point, I think. And from late antiquity through the late Middle Ages, much of the Balkans lay within the borders of the Byzantine Empire. The South Slav people, including Serbs, settled throughout the peninsula from the 6th century AD to this day, pretty much. Meanwhile, an ethnically, linguistically distinct Albanian settlement already had begun to develop in the southwest. In what is now Albania, as Byzantine power waned, the Kosovo region became, by the later Middle Ages, a centre of the Serbian Empire under the Nemanjic dynasty, and by available accounts of the population, By available accounts, its population was overwhelmingly Serb, but did include a small Albanian minority, and between the mid-12th and mid-14th century, the region was virtually endowed by the Serbian Orthodox sites, such as Deccan Monastery from 1327 to 35, and more than 1,000 frescoes. And in the 1830s, the Battle of Kosovo fought just west of Pristina. An army of Turkish Ottoman Empire defeated the forces of Serb forces and their allies, and by the mid-15th century the Turks established direct rule over all Serbia, including Kosovo. In the centuries after the Kosovo Ottoman victory, a significant portion of Kosovo's Orthodox Serbs inhabitants immigrated northwards and westwards to other territories, while some converted to Islam, and following the repulse of the Austrian invasion in 1690, during which many Serbs sided with the invaders. An estimated 30,000 to 40,000 Serbs joined Patriarch in rotation with the Austrian army. The ethnic balance of the region was changed in favour of the Albanian speakers, although it is not clear that it constituted the majority until the 18th century. Now, the abolition in 1766 of the Serbian Orthodox Patriarchate at Pec or Peđe subsequently diminished the importance of Kosovo as a Serbian cultural centre, and thus Kosovo became to symbolise Serbia's golden age of national greatness. A tradition of epic poetry emerged, in which Kosovo represented Serbs' national suffering and aspiration, and at the time ethnic Albanians increasingly identified with the region. And by the late 19th century, Prizren had become an important centre of Albanian culture and ethnic identity, as Serbia had won independence from the Ottoman Empire early in the 19th century, as they regained control of Kosovo in 1912 following the First Balkan War, but lost it again in 1915 during World War I, as an occupation divided between Austria-Hungary and Bulgaria ended in 1918, leaving Kosovo to be incorporated into the new kingdom of Serbs, Croats and Slovenes, renamed later as Yugoslavia, as we all know, or many people. It's part of Serbia, as the advancing Serbian army forced thousands of Kosovo Albanians to flee during the 1918 to 1920, mainly related to what became Turkey, and the new Belgrade government then aided the migration of Serbs consisting of Kosovo colonists to Kosovo, despite some resistance from Kosovo as Albanians. As the Serbs number increased, but they remained a minority, and during World War II, after the Axis powers occupied Yugoslavia in 1941, Kosovo was united with a neighbouring Albania under Italian control, as Kosovo Albanians then drove out or killed thousands of interwar Serb colonists, which I don't recommend anyone else doing. And with the retreat of the Axis forces in 1944, ethnic Albanians who wanted Kosovo to remain united with Albania staged a revolt, which was crushed by the partisan army of Yugoslavia's new communist government, as a post-war government of the new federal Yugoslavia granted Kosovo the status of an autonomous region, later autonomous province within the Republic of Serbia, but also continued to suppress nationalist sentiment among Kosovo Albanians. And from the mid-1960s, however, the Yugoslav government followed policies that acknowledged Albanian ethnic identity and enabled Albanians to advance in provincial and federal administrations, as this Albanianization of the province was also stimulated by the increasing departure of Serbs for Serbia proper, as a result of Serb migration, higher Albanian birth rates. The Albanian share of the population rose from half in 1946 to 3/4 in 1981 and 4/5 in 1991, which by the time the proportion of Serbs had fallen to less than a fifth. Under the Yugoslav constitution enacted in 1974, Kosovo's status as an autonomous province was that of a republic in all but name. Yet sharp rise in international energy prices in 1973 and 79 placed a growing strain on the Yugoslav economy, and conflict deepened among republics over the issue of aid to undeveloped regions like Kosovo within the province itself, starting with the student protests in Pristina, which was as there was like a serious civil disorder in several cities during in 1981, as the demonstrations were spread primarily in response to authorities' use of lethal force against the protesters, which resulted in contested number of deaths, and the intense process of the inter-republic bargaining for economic and political advantage. Politicians in Serbia began to resent the ability of the Kosovars to act together with representatives of other Yugoslav republics, even against Serbian interests, and indignation felt by Serbs over the situation in Kosovo was catalyzed by Slobodan Milosevic, a rising politician whose manipulation of Serb grievances helped him to become leader of Serbia's Communist Party in 1987, and president of the Serbian Republic in 1989, having gained control of the communist leadership, not only in Serbia but also in the autonomous provinces of Vojvodina and Kosovo and the Republic of Montenegro, like four of Yugoslavia government. 8 constituent communist parties. Milosevic threatened to nominate the government of Yugoslavia. Soon after becoming President, Milosevic stripped Kosovo of their own autonomy, and Serbia took direct control of the province's administration. And after the province's ethnic Albanians staged violent protest over the measures, Milosevic sent Yugoslav military units to Kosovo in 1990, dissolving the province's assembly and closed schools teaching in the Albanian language. And in an officially unrecognised referendum held in September that year, the Kosovars voted overwhelmingly to secede from Serbia and Yugoslavia, and the cost to the Yugoslav government in economic aid to the province and the toughness of Serbia's response to Kosovo Albanian nationalism were among the contributing causes for the breakup to the federal Yugoslav state in 1991. In 1992, a new Yugoslav state was created, although it currently consisted of Serbia and Montenegro, and the name by which was later known during the 2003 to 2006, before the two component republics separated, and was dominated by the Milosevic regime as Kosovo's Albanians faced with the Belgrade government's evident willingness to use military force against them, adopted a course of passive non-violent resistance to Serbian control. Under the leadership of the pacifist Ibrahim Rugova, they organised their own network of Albanian language schools and other civil instructions. As the Kosovo Albanians became increasingly frustrated by the failure of their non-cooperation campaign to win for them their independence or even autonomy from Serb-dominated Yugoslav government, though most Albanians remained committed to non-violence, the Kosovo Liberation Army, or KLA, a small ethnic Albanian guerrilla organisation that emerged in 1996, began attacking Serbian police and officials in Kosovo. And then the KLA stepped up the attacks in 1997 with arms obtained in Albania, permitting the Yugoslav military, largely a Serbian force, to stage a major crackdown in the rebel-held Drenica region in early 1998. The brutality of the campaign drove hundreds of new recruits into the KLA's rank, as by the summer widespread fighting had broken out between the KLA armed Yugoslav forces, as Serbian police and Serbian paramilitary groups. As Yugoslav military tactics also drove thousands of ethnic Albanian villagers from their homes, and by late summer the plight of refugees had become a serious concern in the international community. An international negotiator, especially from the United States, met repeatedly with Yugoslav and Kosovo Albanian representatives in an attempt to end the Kosovo conflict. A ceasefire agreement was negotiated in November 1988 that broke down by the end of the year, when the Yugoslav army launched a major offensive against the KLA, as the talks held at Rambouillet, France in February 1999 secured no results by mid-March, and NATO soon began an aerial bombardment of selected Serb targets in Serbia and Kosovo. The Yugoslav and Serbian forces responded by initiating a widespread campaign of ethnic cleansing against Kosovo Albanians by that June, and by that June had driven hundreds of thousands of refugees into neighbouring Albania, Macedonia and Montenegro. And the NATO bombardment continued until June, when a peace agreement was called for with the withdrawal of Yugoslav and Serbian forces from Kosovo, and their replacement by NATO peacekeeping troops. And by the beginning of mid-1990, the United Nations or UN sponsored an interim government in Kosovo, and as terms of the peace agreement were being carried out, as Kosovo refugees began returning to the province, and remaining Serbs, sometimes facing sporadic reprisals, began to flee the region, as the Serb share of the population that fell below 10%. And the talks initiated by the UN in 2005, the future of Kosovo led in 2007 to a plan submitted by the UN envoy Marti Tisari that laid the groundwork of a self-rule, but stopped short of full independence, as rapid endorsement of a plan by Kosovo Albanians was cancelled with intransigent opposition from the Serbian government. Months of further talks between Serbian and Kosovo leaders failed to resolve Kosovo's future status, and by early 2008 Kosovo was determined to secede. On February 17th, 2008, Kosovo formally declared independence. The Serbia, backed by Russia, called the declaration illegal. The Serbs living in Kosovo largely opposed Kosovo independence as well, as they soon elected their own assembly as a direct challenge to Kosovo's new constitution, which took effect in June, and in October the UN General Assembly, following a request by Serbia, submitted the question of the legality of Kosovo's independence to the International Court of Justice. Meanwhile, Russian objections postponed the withdrawal of the UN mission, which ultimately was expected to transfer its power to the oversight of the European Union or EU, as the EU finally deployed its mission, known as ELUX in December, and that December as ELUX, made up of about 2,000 officials from a number of European countries, would oversee police, judicial and customs activities in Kosovo. In 2009, in what many viewed a testament of commitment to democracy, Kosovo held its first election since independence, as international monitors determined that the process conducted on the municipal levels was peaceful, in general fair despite the refusal of many of the remaining Serbs to participate. And by 2010, a new British World Bank loan promised to address the problem of real estate registry. A proper system was needed to ensure the transparent property transaction and to protect the minority property rights. But a June report of the Council of Europe expressed continuing international concern over the wider judicial reform that would be needed to establish the rule of the law, as the same concerns informed the decision of the EU to extend the ELUX mission for 2 years, through to mid-2012, and July 2010 decision of the International Court of Justice recognised Kosovo's declaration of independence was expected to strengthen the determination of the Kosovo Albanian government and the ELUX authorities, as well as consolidate Kosovo's sovereignty within its declared borders, largely if not unanimously recognised by the international community. While the status of a small Serb minority remained unsettled, and the government in Pristina continued to face difficulty in establishing authority over the Serb-dominated areas in the north of the Ibar River, and obviously unsettled as well relations with Serbia, still a major trading partner. However, Serbia's support of a UN resolution passed in 2010, which called for EU-mediated talks between Serbia and Kosovo, offered some hope of normalisation of their relations, as Kosovo's level of unemployment continued to exceed 40%, but economic growth did persist, and although at a reduced pace given the international financial crisis that began in 2008 and the attendant drop in remittance sent back from abroad, still missing was sizable direct foreign investment, which at some point will be needed to replace the substantial aid, as it's been more than $3 billion since 1999, provided by the United States and Europe, as a young population of and a variety of mineral deposits are nonetheless resources to be tapped if Kosovo's political leadership can respond to the challenges of domestic reform and international accommodation. And in November 2020, I haven't quite got to 2020 yet, in November 2010, the Assembly of Kosovo passed the notion of no confidence in the country's minority government, led by Prime Minister Hasim Baki of the Democratic Party of Kosovo, or Partia Demokratika I Kosovi, or PDK, permitting the dissolution of the body of the scheduling of elections. As the fall of the government followed in September, resignation of President Fatmir Sejdiu, who in October withdrew his Democratic League of Kosovo, Demokratika I Kosovo (LDK) from the coalition that had governed Kosovo since independence, as the elections held in December 2010 returned to the PDK's power, and Faki remained Prime Minister, although there were reports of widespread voting irregularities and a re-vote in January 2011 affirmed the early results. As unrest continued in northern Kosovo throughout 2011, as ethnic Serbs with the support of Serbia created a parallel institution. In defiance of Kosovo government in Pristina, EU police and some 6,000 NATO troops maintained an uneasy peace in the region, and tensions sometimes erupted in violence. Nonetheless, negotiations between Kosovo and Serbia continued throughout the year, in an effort to normalise relationships between them. Although the unemployment rate in Kosovo approached 50% and organised crime and corruption remained endemic problems, the European Commission determined in late 2012 that the country had made sufficient progress to begin negotiations for stabilisation and association agreements. Kosovo stepped towards accession to the EU. In April 2013, Kosovo and Serbia reached a milestone agreement in that Serbia gave autonomy to ethnic Serbs in northern Kosovo in exchange for a de facto recognition of Kosovo's authority in the region. As Serbian negotiations stopped short of recognising Kosovo's independence, however, as political gridlock followed the general election in June 2014, hampered by EU reform agenda, and 6 months passed before a new government could be formed. A compromise between the LDK and PDK was reached in December, whereby the LDK leader Isa Mustafa was made Prime Minister, Faki was named Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister, with both parties agreeing that he would become President in 2016. Upon a conclusion on Atifete Jajang terms in the office, and in August 2015, Kosovo and Serbia made great strides to normalising their relationships as the two countries concluded negotiations to address energy and telecommunications issues, with Kosovo gaining its independent own international telephone prefix, and Serb communities within Kosovo being granted a measure of autonomy. As backlash against the EU brokered deal was intense, and in October, opposition lawmakers set off tear gas canisters and the floor of Parliament in protest. Later that month, Kosovo concluded a long-desired stabilisation and association agreement with the EU. The EU officials stated that additional political and economic reforms would be necessary before accession could be considered, as some $700 million in developmental aid was made available to Kosovo to achieve those goals. So yeah, that is Kosovo for you, and it's been interesting and all. Let me know if you're from Kosovo and if I got anything wrong, okay? So yeah, bye for now, and I'll see you soon.